Hello students, welcome to the Schooling Hub. Today we will do tissue chapter of biology. Before starting, please to like and share our videos and subscribe to our channel. So our chapter is tissues, plant and animal tissues. First of all, we know that a cell is the smallest unit, single cell. Cell is the smallest structural and functional unit. Group of cells join together and starts performing a function. Many group of cells join together to form a tissue, like many group of cells joined to form a tissue. So how can we define tissue? Hence, tissue is a group of similar cells performing a specific function. Means large number of cells join together to perform a particular function. Now, we know that tissue is a group of cells that perform the specific functions. Now, number of tissues join to form an organ. The tissues start functioning together, many different tissues, and they form an organ. For example, here we have example of tongue. Like our tongue contains various group of tissues like nerve cells, muscle cells, epithelial cells, means a number of cells, and we know that number of cells form tissues. Various organs will contribute to form organ system. For example, we have digestive system. Our digestive system contains various organs like stomach, we have intestine. Similarly, organ system is a group of organs, means various organs function together to form a organ system. Now, various organ systems form an organism. For example, plants have root and shoot system, or we can take the example of human body. Human body have various systems like digestive system, respiratory system, or we have excretory system, muscular system, means various organ systems in a body function together to form a complete individual, that is organism. So hence, now today what we will study is, we will study about tissues. What are tissues? Are a group of similar cells that perform a specific function. Classification of tissues. Tissues are broadly classified into two types: plant tissues and animal tissues. Plant tissues, tissues that are present in plants, and animal tissues that are present in animals. First, we will study of plant tissues. Collection of similar cells performing an organized function for plant. What is plant tissue? A collection of cells that will perform specific functions for plants, that are called as plant tissues. Now, first of all, we have the classification of plant tissues. Plant tissue is broadly classified into meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. From the name, it is clear that permanent tissues, the tissues that are permanent. Meristematic means the growing tissues. Meristematic tissue is further of two types: apical meristem and lateral meristem. Permanent tissue is further of three types: protective, sportive and conductive. This is also clear from their names. Protective means the tissues that will protect the plant. This will form the function of sport. Conducting tissue, that will help the plant to conduct like water, food. Further, sportive tissue is further classified into three types: parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Conducting tissue is further of two types: xylem and phloem. So this is the definition of plant tissues, that is collection of similar cells performing an organized function for plant, and the broad classification of plant tissues. First classification of plant tissues is meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue is the actively dividing tissue in which cells can multiply to produce new cells. means the old cells are doing cell division, means they are multiplying. They are further multiplying to produce new cells. These cells are multiplying and forming new tissues, and that tissues are actively dividing, means they are continuously dividing. Hence meristematic tissue is actively dividing tissue in which cells can multiply to produce new cells. What is the location of meristematic tissue? Meristematic tissue is found at all growing points of a plant, such as tips of roots, stems and branches. Now we know that the cells are continuously dividing. Hence meristematic tissue is present at that part of the plant where the plant needs to grow. At which parts? For example, we know that roots, stems and branches of the plants are growing parts. Hence meristematic tissue is found at the tips of root, stem and branches. Meristematic tissue is also present between the bark and the wood of trees, where it leads to growth in the diameter of the stem. We know that the bark of tree also grow in the width. It grows in the width. That is because here meristematic tissue is present in the bark, which helps to increase its growth in diameter. Hence, the meristematic tissue is present between the bark and the wood of trees, where it leads to growth in the diameter of the stem. Characteristics of meristematic tissue. The cells are small, usually cubical. Means the cells they are small in shape and they are usually cubical in shape. Cell wall is thin. We know that the cells need to divide, so their cell wall is very thin, so that it is easy for the cell to break the cell wall before division. Nuclei are large. We know that during cell division, one cell divides into two cells. When this cell divides, first of all, suppose this is a cell and this is the nucleus. First of all, the nucleus of the cell divides into two parts. After that, the breakage happens and two cells are formed. Hence, the nucleus of the cells of meristematic tissue are large. Vacuoles are almost absent. Vacuoles are the spaces in between the cell for any storage like fluid storage or water storage. They are almost absent. Cells tightly packed with almost no intercellular space. What is intercellular space? Intercellular space is the space between the cells. Suppose here we have cells. These are our meristematic cells. We read that these are mostly cubical in shape. Now they are saying that the cells are tightly packed, means they are tightly packed and with no intercellular space among them. Intercellular space, here we can see that there is very little space between the cell, means they have no space between them. If they are to be scattered like this, then we can say that there is lot of space, but no, these cells are tightly packed with no space between the cells. The cells actively divide, adding new cells to the plant. We know that these cells are actively dividing, means cell division is occurring and new cells are added to the plant. The new cells thus produced are transformed into mature permanent tissues. The newly formed cells that are transferred into the mature permanent tissue. So this is our characteristics of meristematic tissues. Classification of meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue is classified into two types: apical or terminal meristem and lateral or cambium meristem. From the word it is clear that apical or terminal. From the word it is clear that apical, that is means apex. That means at the top. Similarly, from the word lateral, it is clear that it is present on the sides. First of all, we have apical or terminal meristem. located near the tips of the roots and stems. As we read that we have word apical, from which it is clear at apex or at the top. Hence, apical meristem is located near the tips of the roots and stems. On the tips of axillary buds, the new developing buds. Hence, these are present at the tips of the axillary buds. In young growing leaves near the tips of the stem. Apical meristem is present in the newly growing leaves that are present at the tips of the stem. Second we have is lateral or cambium meristem. From the word lateral, it is clear that it is present on the sides. Located below the bark. This is located in the bark of the plant, responsible for increase in diameter of the stem. As we read earlier too, that it is present here on the sides, so that it helps to increase the stem in the diameter. So this is the classification of meristematic tissue. Second classification of plant tissues is permanent tissue. Permanent tissues are the non-dividing tissue made up of cells which have lost their ability to divide. We know that tissue is made up of cells. The permanent tissue is a non-dividing tissue, means which is not further dividing. Hence, this tissue is made up of those cells which are not dividing anymore, means no division is occurring. Division is not occurring because they have lost their ability to divide. Permanent tissues take a permanent shape to perform specific functions. Now, as we know that these tissues cannot further divide, so they take a permanent shape and starts performing particular functions. Permanent tissues can be living or non-living. Living tissues are those in which nucleus is present, and non-living tissues are those in which nucleus is also absent. Classification of permanent tissue. Classification of permanent tissue is done on the basis of the functions performed by different tissues. We have three classification of permanent tissues: protective, sportive and conducting. Protective tissue that protects the plant, sportive tissue that will support the plant, and conductive tissue that will help to conduct water, minerals and food for the plant. First classification of permanent tissue is the protective permanent tissue. From the name it is very clear that this will perform the function of protection. The protective tissue that protects the plant body. This tissue will protect the plant body. Cells have thick walls. The cells of this tissue have thick walls. Location of protective tissue. This tissue is found on the surface of roots, stems and leaves. We know that any germ or any infection to the plant or any foreign body will enter through the surface of the plant. So this tissue is present at the surface of roots, stems and leaves to perform the function of protection for the plant. Classification of protective tissue. Protective tissue is classified into two types: epidermis simple protective tissue and cork simple protective tissue. First we have is epidermis simple protective tissue. This covers entire body of the plant, means epidermis tissue covers the whole body. This is the outermost layer of every part of the plant, protects the plant from injury and germs. Epidermis protective tissue will protect the plant from any type of injury or from invading of germs or any foreign particles. Stomata are the small openings on the epidermal layer to facilitate the exchange and prevent water loss. Means the epidermis cells are not dead cells. They contain stomata, which are the small openings. These are like bean shaped openings. When they will open, they will facilitate water loss and gaseous exchanges. So the stomata are small openings on epidermal layer to facilitate gaseous exchange and prevents water loss. Second is cork simple protective tissue. This tissue consists of dead cells with no intercellular space. This tissue contains dead cells and no intercellular space, forms the outer layer of old tree trunks. Cork will form the outermost layer of the tree trunks of mainly of old trees, and these are the dead cells and helps in the protection of the plant. Second classification of permanent tissue is the sportive tissue. Sportive tissue is the tissue that is composed of cells with thick cell walls meant to provide mechanical support to plant structures. Means the sportive tissue is composed of cells that are made up of thick cell walls, and this helps to provide mechanical support to the plant. Cells of sportive tissue are dead. The cells of which sportive tissue is composed, they are the dead cells. Main function is to provide strength and support to parts of the plant. The main function of sportive tissue is that it provides strength and support to the parts of the plant, to various parts of the plant. Classification of sportive tissue. Sportive tissue is classified into three types: parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. First classification of sportive tissue is parenchyma. Parenchyma contains large thin-walled cells, oval, circular or polygonal in shape. Means the parenchyma contains cells that have thin walls. They are else oval in shape, they are else circular in shape, or they are else polygonal in shape. Usually a single large vacuole is present in cells. Means in parenchyma cells a single large vacuole is present. Cells of parenchyma are loosely packed and contain large intercellular spaces between them. Means the cells are loosely packed. These are the intercellular spaces, and the intercellular spaces between them are large. What is the location of parenchyma? Parenchyma is found in soft parts of plants such as in the cortex and in the pith. Parenchyma is basically found in the soft parts of the plants. In outer region it is found in the cortex, and in the central region parenchyma is found in the pith of the plant. Next we have is function of parenchyma. Stores food as in the potatoes. Means parenchyma tissue helps in the storage of food, particularly in potatoes. Provides temporary support to the plant. Parenchyma tissue provides temporary support to the plant. What is sclerenchyma? Some parenchyma cells, particularly present in the leaves, contain chloroplast. These cells are termed as sclerenchyma. Means the parenchyma cells, they contain pigment that is chloroplast. This chloroplast present in especially in leaves helps in the process of photosynthesis. So the cells that will contain the chloroplast for the function of photosynthesis are termed as sclerenchyma. From the definition it is clear that parenchyma cells that are particularly present in leaves contain chloroplast. These cells are termed as sclerenchyma. What is the function of sclerenchyma? This helps the leaf to produce food by photosynthesis. This helps the production of food by the process of photosynthesis. Second classification of sportive tissue is collenchyma. Collenchyma tissue is made up of cells which are elongated and the cell wall is thickened at the corners. Means the cells are elongated. In the diagram we can see the cells are elongated in shape and are thickened at the corners. Mainly these are cylindrical shaped cells. So the cells are elongated and the cell wall is thickened at the corners. The location of collenchyma tissue is found in leaf stalks and below the epidermis of the skin. The collenchyma tissue is found in the leaf stalks and below the epidermis layer in the stems. Function of collenchyma tissue. It provides both structural and mechanical flexibility to stems of young plants, allowing each bending without breakage. Allowing easy bending without breakage means the collenchyma tissue provides support to the plant, structural support to like the support to branches, stems, and mechanical support to stems of young plants. Because if young plant stem will not get support and will not have flexibility, they will break while they will get bending while bending. But the collenchyma tissue that is present in young plants allow easy bending without any breakage of the stem. Collenchyma tissue helps to provide strength to all parts of plant such as petiole of the leaf. Also, the collenchyma tissue provides strength to every part of the plant such as petiole of the leaf. So this is our collenchyma tissue, its location and functions. Third classification of sportive tissue is sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma is a tissue composed of long, narrow cells which have become dead. Means the sclerenchyma tissue contains dead cells that are long and narrow cells. Cells of sclerenchyma tissue develops very thick walls due to deposition of lignin and high cellulose content. We will check the cross-sectional view of sclerenchyma tissue. These cells are having thickened wall. These walls are thickened. These walls are thickened due to lignin and cellulose deposition. So sclerenchyma tissue have thick walls. Location. Sclerenchyma tissue is found in stems and veins of the leaves. Sclerenchyma tissue is found mainly in stems and veins of the leaves. These are the dead tissues. We need to remember this. So this is found in stems and veins of the leaves. Function. This tissue serves the function of providing strength and structural support to the parts of the plant. Now we know that this is a dead tissue. If this is a dead tissue, this will not perform any function like any transportation function or respiration function. So this tissue only functions to provide strength and structural support to different parts of the plant. Next topic under sclerenchyma is fibers and stones. Rope, mats, and certain textiles are made from plant fibers. The ropes, the mats we use or textiles, they are sometimes made from the plant fibers such as those of linen and hemp. These fibers are the sclerenchyma cells. The fibers, plant fibers that are used to make ropes, mats, they are the sclerenchyma fibers. The hard walnut shells and the gritty masses in the skin and the pulp of pears are made up of sclerenchyma cells. Walnut shells are hard and the gritty masses in the skin, pulp of pears, all these are also made up of sclerenchyma cells, and these sclerenchyma cells are known as stone cells. Third classification of permanent tissue is the conducting tissue. Conducting tissue is also called vascular tissue. From the name conducting, it is clear that this tissue will conduct food, water, minerals in the plant. Hence, conducting tissue is also called vascular tissue. This tissue is also called as vascular tissue. Conducting tissue is complex tissue formed by more than one type of cells working together as a single unit. Means conducting tissue is complex tissue. Why? Because it is formed by more than one type of cells. Let that be circular, sphere, oval, like this. Means many types of cells work together as a single unit to perform particular functions. Conducting tissue provides a passage for water and dissolved materials to move up and down in the plant. Conductive tissue provides a passage for transportation of water and minerals and food to up and down in the whole plant body. Classification of conducting tissue. Conducting tissue is basically divided into two parts, xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem collectively form the vascular bundles. Xylem and phloem together forms vascular bundles which helps in the transportation. First classification of conducting tissue is xylem. Xylem cells are elongated and thick-walled cells in the form of tubular passage. Xylem cells are the elongated, means they are the elongated cells having thick walls in the form of tubular passage, means tube shape. Xylem consists of variety of specialized water conducting cells called tertiary elements. Xylem contains various specialized cells, means that have specialized function, water conducting cells that are called as tertiary elements. Functions of xylem. Xylem conveys water and dissolved minerals from the roots to the rest of the plant. The function of xylem is transportation of water and dissolved minerals, means minerals that are dissolved in the water. So xylem conveys water and dissolved minerals from root to rest of the plant, means from downward to upwards. For example, this is our plant, these are the roots. From roots to the whole part, the xylem conveys water and dissolved minerals. Xylem provides mechanical support and storage. Xylem also provides support and storage to the plant. Calculating the age of a tree. How we will calculate age of a particular tree? Older xylem tissue forms the wood and does not participate in transport. When xylem tissue becomes old, the tissue forms the wood and does not participate in its function of transportation. Xylem rings are formed in the stem, also known as annual rings. In the wood, xylem forms rings. The older xylem, which does not function in the process of transportation, now forms xylem rings that are known as annual rings, and the age of tree is determined by counting its annual rings. And we will know the age of a particular tree by counting the number of rings. For example, this is a cross-sectional view of a stem. We know that there are these types of rings in the stem. Now here these are two rings. That means the age of tree is 2 years. And how these rings are formed? These rings are actually the older xylem tissues that are not further participating in any transportation process, and these rings are called as annual rings, means one ring determines 1 year, second ring, second year. Thus the age of the tree is 2 years. Components of xylem. Xylem has 4 components: tracheids, xylem vessels, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fibers. Now we will study each one of them. First component of xylem tissue is tracheids. Tracheids are made up of elongated dead cells with large cavities without any contents. Tracheids are made up of dead cells that are elongated, having large cavities without any internal content. Cells are placed end to end, forming a long tube. Tracheids form a long tube like this. Cells are arranged. They will form a long tube-like structure. Cells have highly lignified cell wall, means the cell walls contain high content of lignin. They are highly lignified. Provides mechanical support by developing thickenings in their walls. They will provide support by developing thickening. Thickenings will be of lignin that is present in cell wall and will provide mechanical support. Second component is xylem vessels. Xylem vessels are long tube-like structures meant for transporting water and dissolved minerals. Xylem vessels are tubes that transport water and dissolved minerals. The main component of xylem that helps in transporting is the xylem vessels. Xylem vessels are made up of elongated cells placed end to end. Elongated cells that are placed end to end. Cell walls are quite hard, thick and lignified. Cells have hard, thick and lignified cell walls. Transverse walls get dissolved and make a continuous water pipe. Means the transverse walls of cells, they dissolve and they make a continuous water pipe. Means a tube-like structure. So this is about xylem vessels. Third component is xylem parenchyma. Xylem parenchyma consists of living parenchyma cells associated with xylem. Means xylem parenchyma is a living that is associated with the xylem. Cells serve for the storage of food. Xylem parenchyma cells helps in the storage of food. Means the main function it serves is the storage. Stores sugars and starch. Helps in conduction of water and minerals. Xylem parenchyma also helps in the conduction process of water and dissolved minerals. Last component of xylem is the xylem fibers. Xylem fibers are made up of dead sclerenchyma cells. They are made up of dead cells. Which dead cells? Sclerenchyma cells. Xylem fibers are thick-walled, long, narrow cells with tapering ends. They have thick walls, they are long, they are narrow cells and they have tapering ends. Main function is to provide mechanical support to the plant. Xylem fibers provide the main function of support. It provides mechanical support to the plant. Second classification of conducting tissue is phloem. Phloem is a living tissue in vascular plants. Phloem is a living tissue present in vascular plants. Phloem provides a passage for the downward movements of food manufactured in the leaf to various parts of the plant. We know that process of photosynthesis occurs in the leaves. So the phloem provides a passage for the downward movement so that food transfers from leaf to whole parts of the plant. Provide way for upward movement of the prepared food towards the growing new leaves. If a older leaf is manufacturing the food, then it also provides the upward movement to new growing leaves. Components of phloem. Phloem have four components: sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers. First component of phloem is sieve tubes. Sieve tubes are made up of elongated cells placed end to end forming a long tube. From the name it is very clear that sieve tubes, that this must be present in the form of tubes. So these are made up of elongated cells that are placed end to end and they form a long tube. Transverse walls called sieve plates are perforated. Transverse walls that are called sieve plates are perforated. Perforated means the holes are present in between them for the passage of air or for the passage of any material. Helps in the transport of food from leaves to storage organs and other parts of the plant. Sieve tubes help in the transportation of food from leaves to every other part of the plant. Next component of phloem tissue we have is companion cells. Companion cells are the living parenchyma cells. These are living cells and parenchyma cells. These are associated with sieve tube cells, means companion cells are combined with the sieve tube cells, means both of them function together. Helps in the functioning of sieve tube cells. We know that companion cells are associated with sieve tube cells, so they also help in the functioning of sieve tube cells in the transportation of food from leaves to every other part of the plant. Phloem parenchyma. Phloem Parenchyma is a parenchyma tissue. This is concerned with storage of starch, fat and other organic food material. Phloem parenchyma serves the function of storage of starch, fats and various organic food materials. Fourth component of phloem is the phloem fibers. Phloem fibers are the sclerenchyma cells, and the main function of phloem fibers is providing support. These provides support to the plant. So students, today we have covered plant tissue topic of tissue chapter of biology. If you have any doubt, then let us know your doubt in the comment section, or you can DM us your doubt on our Instagram page. Our Instagram account link will be provided in the description. Please do like and share our videos and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.